Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to another one of my computer and internet things here on YouTube, courtesy of me, Adventure Link, yours truly. So, in today's video, I've got this HP T610 Plus Thin Client PC running PFSENSE on Cincinnati Bell Fioptics. Nice thing is it actually plugs directly into the wall because it's Cincinnati Bell Fioptics. Shoutouts goes out to Art of Server, as well as Phil's Computer Lab for providing me with the inspiration to take on this project. Right, as Joe Guerrero from the After Prison show would say, before we jump on in feet first, not head first, and dive into this project today, I got a few fair warnings to go over, get it out of the way off the bat right now. First off, you could use any computer you want for this PFSense project. But if you're going to use an HP Thin Client, T610 Plus or T620 Plus or whatever, please read the description on the eBay listing, Facebook Marketplace listing, AliExpress, whatever, before you buy it. Heads up, most won't include the power brick here. Some do though. If yours does, great. Otherwise, do not be fooled by cheap $10-ish power supplies on eBay. It's not the quality I'm worried about. It's the fact that it's a 65 watt brick. You try to use it on a Plus model Thin Client, you're just going to get 4 beeps and a blinking red light as a general power warning on HP devices. That said, you want to shoot for 90 watt power supply, 19 volt DC. This is what you want to look for. Look at the HP part number and spare number so you can look on eBay to get the proper adapter. Here's also the polarity indicator. Be sure to also pay mind to that as well. You need your adapter brick to match this polarity, because I'm sure there's plenty of these out there with different model numbers. So yeah, I'm just listing all the specs right now. You at least need a 90 watt brick or better to use on a Plus model Thin Client. Next off, wireless PFSense and U. Unfortunately, when it comes to alternate operating systems like Linux and FreeBSD, which FreeBSD is based on PFSense, some things will work, most won't. So I will leave a link in the description for any Wi-Fi cards you may want to use on PFSense. As a warning, some Wi-Fi on PFSense is like a crapshoot at best, not worth your time at worst, so make of that what you will. I'll be trying to go for it. If it works for me, great. If not, well, whatever. It is what it is. I'll just have to get a Wi-Fi access point, I suppose. Also, the only reason why that this box works directly with Cincinnati Bell Fioptics and not anything else is because, as you saw in the start of the video, where it connects into the WAN, that's an Ethernet jack directly into the wall, which what I'm guessing is happening is that at the service block outside, the junction blocks outside the house, is that all the fiber and Ethernet and internet signals are, converting, merging, etc. That's why you can get away with the Ethernet adapter in the house. And as you can see, it was clearly working. That said, this is not a replacement for a WISP modem, cellular hotspot modem, cable modem, fiber modem, whatever. Unless, of course, you can actually get such a hardware that will work on one of these Thin clients and work in PFSense/FreeBSD. And the chances of that happening are pretty slim, so yeah, you would pretty much want to disable, router, Wi-Fi, and all that in your cable modem, WISP modem, cellular hotspot, or whatever, and just use this be your router, firewall, etc. instead. So now with all the fair warnings out of the way, as Lord Voltaire would say, you better sit back, strap on, and prepare yourselves to get an HP T610 Plus Thin Client working on Cincinnati Bell Fioptics or a similar means of internet connectivity off of this box. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do to open up our T610 Plus HP Thin Client, you got to push and hold in this tab. After that, you push the little module or guard thing to the right to lock, left to unlock. This is a tight fit, but I managed to get it out just fine. Slide it on up and out. Boom. Slide back, up, boom. If you want to upgrade the RAM, there it is. Push up on the tab. Boom. Got your RAM here. Samsung model, not a sponsor. There I go would say, just what came with the thing. This takes up to 16 gigs of RAM. Just a fair warning, that runs in single channel mode. So I'm not sure if you could actually put in, 16 or 32 gigs in here and it will take effect. It's 8 gigabytes for both slots, one in here, one in there, you get 16 gigs total. Either way, just know that these RAM modules work in single channel mode. Again, same deal as the bottom, slide out, up, boom. Next up, tab, push back, up, boom. Now we got access to the insides of our Thin Client here. As you can see, we got our PCIe slot already populated with a Wi-Fi card, but we're going to put a better one in here. We got our SATA DOM module port down here. You can also plug in a 2.5-inch SATA drive right in there. 1 gig DOM module for IDE, CPU fan, PCIe X16 slot. Just a heads up, this is PCIe X16 to X4. There is an X4 module on the motherboard. You can't see it, but it's down there and it's connected. Alrighty, so I put everything in off cam. I ended up putting the DOM module in underneath here. Yeah, there's the DOM module there. Unfortunately, I don't have the screw to just screw this in. If I do have the screw, I will switch the DOM module over from the regular SATA port down to the DOM module SATA port. It's all standard SATA, all the same. So you can still hook it up to the SATA expansion for the hard drive. And you can also take it out of there and hook it into your computer for extra flash storage or to back it up. What fun! Here's our network card. It's a PFSENSE 375T. Not a sponsor, as Erico would say, just what I chose to use. I believe there's an Intel chipset. I want to say it's i350, but I'm not 100% sure. That works best with FreeBSD and PFSense. I'll have a big, gigantic forum post in the video description, link to it to show off, you know, how to tell a real i350 card from a standard Chinese knockoff. But hopefully this HP card here will work. The only drawback though is that where the Ethernet slots are, top border here pretty much blocks it out, so I'd have to stick like a pen or a long fingernail or something thin yet rigid to undo all the Ethernet ports. I suppose if I get tired of it, I could probably take a Dremel, strip this all the way down, board and everything, set it aside, and then just have the straight case, and take a Dremel and I can just cut off this top piece here if it really bothers me that much. Alrighty, so it's Hardware Tour 2.0. We already know how most of this stuff works, but I want to show you improvements from last time. For you guys, it was probably just a few seconds. For me, it was quite a bit longer than that, we'll say. For a start, my little SATA DOM module, it was plugged back here. It's plugged up here now. I managed to get like, say, an M2 or M3 hard drive screw. That goes in the header thing that holds it in. Screwed it on in, nice and secured. Boom. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi will not be happening in this video, mostly because we got two problems. One is I kind of stripped the little ports heads in here. It was normally supposed to like a T5 from my trials, but unfortunately even the T5 just stripped it all out. So yeah, unfortunately Wi-Fi will not be happening, and even if it did happen, here's the card in question. It's an Atheros card. Yeah, even if it was to go in, that card back is way too long and interferes with some of the ports anyway. So I'm probably going to have to try this again, try to find some way to get these bolts, these little screws out, and then hopefully find another one of these or something else that's like next best, but with the size of this card instead of this thing. And furthermore, we got a new Ethernet network interface card manufactured by IBM for Intel. Both not a sponsor, just what I chose to use. You'll see why in a moment. Next thing you'll do is you'll go on pfsense.org/download, link in the video description, to download your image of PF source. This is what I personally set it up for. You want to set it up for AMD 64bit. Netgate ADI is probably for PFSense devices or anything else like that. Installer, you can use a USB memstick installer, a CD image, or nano BSD embedded. We're just going to use a USB memstick. Console, I'm not sure what the difference is between serial versus VGA, but we're going to go VGA. Select your mirror, pick your closest mirror. For me, that would be NYC. Hit download. After you hit download, you'll click OK or save it to disk. You'll then want to extract it. I'll just put it in my documents for now. Next thing you'll do is open up your CD image writer or disk image writer. I'm using Balena Etcher. You could either use that or use Rufus or use the DD command in Linux or Unix. But in any case, you'll select your PFSense image where you downloaded it. There's your PFSense right there. Change your USB device. I'm going to use this one here, 16 gig stick. And we're going to hit flash. Say yes to the command prompt. Then it'll do its thing. So while it's flashing, I'll let it flash and we'll come back. Right, validating. Unmounting. Flash complete. Yay! Now, if you're flashing an ISO image, I'm sure there will be warnings about the disk need to be formatted and all that, but with the disk done being flashed, we're good, so let's move on to the next step. We're going to turn the computer on, let it boot. We're going to hit F10, get into the BIOS here. Hardware power management. Disable, disable, disable. Everything looks good. Gonna quick boot, full boot. You can pick that. Enable post messages. Hit F10 to accept when you're good. After you save in your BIOS config, you want to turn the power management on last state. That should be able to let you do it. Like just in case of a power failure, it will reboot from power when power is restored. Now it's going to sit here and let it do its thing. Okay, so if your install, got stuck at the frame buffer message like that, as you just saw, which is what happened to me, I happened to Google something real quick on how to overcome that. I'll put a link to a Reddit thread in the video description. The too long didn't read solution. You want to go down to storage, boot order, where it says EFI boot sources. You want to toggle that, use F5 to toggle that. It's on. You want to turn that off. And just to be sure, you would want to tune your legacy boot sources. Hard drive, make it go USB first, and then SATA 0, then SATA 2. Although I do believe in this case, I would want to make SATA 2 my next priority, so boom, there it is. Now we can actually reboot and hit F10 to accept, of course. Then reboot, then save, and now we're actually rebooting. I had my words stumbled, so my apologies for those that want to get butthurt over me stumbling on my words. Auto boot in 2 seconds. Yay! It's actually doing things! From here, it'll pretty much, start finding things, and then eventually we'll get into the installer. There you go. Now we're in the installer. Say accept. Say install. Continue with the default key map, or we'll test the default key map anyway. Right, everything looks good to me. Say OK, go with the default key map. We'll go with the auto setup. We're going to pretty much blank everything that's on our little SATA DOM module. We want to install to 88.1, which is our DOM module. Say entire disk. I guess we're going to say DOS partition here. Please review the disk setup when finished. When complete, press the finish button. So, looks like everything's good to go. We are going to say finish. We will commit. Now we're going to let it sit here and do its thing. So, I'll be back. Alright, installation is now finished. Before exiting the installer, would you like to open a shell in the new system and make any final manual modifications? We're going to say no. We're hopefully going to be able to just plug and play. But first, we got to use the web configuration to configure our new router. So we're going to say no here. Now we're going to say reboot. Gonna let it do its thing. Now that it's rebooting, we can probably remove the installation medium. Done. Then from there we should be able to boot into PFSENSE. Do VLANs need to be set up first? We're going to say no. Now we're going to enter a WAN interface, or A for auto detection. You want to disconnect all interfaces before pressing A to begin the process. So we're going to auto detect. Connect the WAN interface now and make sure that the link is up. Now you want to connect your WAN interface. You want to use a port, preferably the lone port that comes with the T610 Plus as your WAN. Just as a fair warning, if you're using a wireless card, do not use the wireless card as your WAN interface unless it's a WISP or a wireless internet service provider. So you want to plug it into an Ethernet port ideally. Okay, so we're back, and as you can see, we actually have more interfaces popping up, but we don't have the actual one that comes with the box detected, but it is there. It's just, I guess, it just found these two by default and rolled with it. But like I said, as you can see, we got extra interfaces. What was the problem last time was that the HP card I had wasn't really compatible with PFSense, so guess what? I had to order that Intel card. So that's what we're running on now. As you can see, we got the WAN port empty. LAN is EM1. I'll plug it into my computer. Go to 192.168.1.1 in a web browser, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back. We're on 192.168.1.1. Don't freak out if you see the globe down there with the no sign. That just means it don't got, internet, but I can at least hop on here on this LAN and configure it. So we're going to say advanced. We're going to accept the risk and continue. If there's a way to permanently accept this, that'd be great. Because all this is just a PFSense router. That's all it is. That's better. Anyways, the sign in is admin for the username, and I believe the password by default is PFSense. We can set this later, and you should. We're going to ignore that warning for now because I factory resetted this. So we're going to ignore the warning for now. We're going to say next. And review that option. Say next. Host name, you can pretty much make that whatever you want. There we go. Primary DNS server. Hold up. Right. 4.4.4.4 is a Cloudflare DNS server. Secondary DNS is 8.8.8.8. That's Google. Whenever possible, I would try to stay away from that Google because we all know how well it doesn't like to respect people's privacy and tracks people and all that. That's why I set mine to 4.4.4.4 because, like I said, that's Cloudflare. 8.8.8.8 is Google. The alternative Google is 8.8.4.4. I'll edit in some more DNSs later on, but these are the only two I know offhand, and that's what I set up. Of course, I'm sure FiOps will probably add other ones in here because I had these two set, and then I saw like two more options up afterwards edited in automatically, so it is what it is. I'm going to change the time zone here. You can pretty much set this to what you please. Just make sure you set it towards your nearest big city. So for me, I probably use New York time if that's an option. Otherwise, for me, because I'm on Eastern time, Eastern Daylight Time, anything that observes Eastern Daylight Time would probably be acceptable. And after scrolling down some more, I found the New York time zone. Like I said, as long as it's within the Eastern Daylight Time, for me, whatever time zone equivalent for you, you can just go ahead and use it. Like there's a Detroit time, I can use that. So yeah, we're just going to click on New York, say next. This is the WAN interface setup. For now, I'm just going to should be able to leave all this alone. These are default settings. I'll just leave that alone. Say next. Here's our admin password section. Let me pause this and I'll put in my password. Back again. We got the password set. Hit next. We're going to say don't save. This will then reload PFSense with new changes. So we're just going to let it do its thing and I will be back. Well, that was quick. We're back. Gonna say finish. Say accept. And there's our PFSENSE dashboard. From here you can pretty much configure everything from up here. I'm just gonna say WAN. Perfect. Alright, so I'm back again. Go under interfaces. There's assignments. I'm moving the WAN to BGE0 because that's what's on the box by default. BGE0, EM. Gonna hit save. Hopefully it'll sort itself out after I save it. We're back. We got BGE0, which is by default on the box. The default port that came with the unit. Gonna say add. Alrighty, so now it's time to make use of all our one extra port, although you could have up to 4, depends upon the card, and try to bridge them together. I've got some instructions here on Protectly. I'll link in the video description so you can follow along, but you want to verify optional optional interfaces are assigned with default settings. So you go to System, Interfaces, say Assignments. Any optional interfaces will below appear under Option 1. In this case, we're going to go into Option 1, click that. You have to do this for every interface. Make sure it's enabled. Do not fill anything out. Everything here should be blank. Go to Save, and say Apply Changes. Now we're back there and it's doing its thing. In the Interfaces menu, you select the Bridges tab and click Add. So we're up here, Interfaces, Assignments, Bridge. Then you go to Add. And it says Option 1 and Option 2, you can control click, but we don't have Option 2 or Option 3, just Option 1. So I'll just go Option 1, type in a description. I'll be right back to type the description in. It is a full bridge rectifier, as that electro boom guy would say. Go to save. There's your bridge. Navigate to the interface assignments. You want to put LAN on bridge 0. Say interfaces, assignments. Change LAN to bridge 0. You'll hit save. Just as a fair warning, it will be looking off Option 1, so if this does disconnect, don't be surprised if it does disconnect, because you just need to let the computer do its thing, the PFSense router will do its thing, and then you just be able to switch your Ethernet jack into the end of the open port, or one of the open ports anyway. So I'll let it do its, hit save and let it do its thing. See, after the change has been applied, that's why it's taking forever to load up. So I'm going to switch my plug. We're going to go back and do its thing after we switch the plug. And now we're back. Now I'm on port 2 here. That was empty, now it's full. Yay! But we are not done yet. That's it. There's your fair warning right there. Now go back to your bridge 0 configuration. You want to add the LAN port this time. So we're going to do that. Go to interface, interface assignments, bridges. Hit edit. Or hold up, I'm going a step ahead of myself here. LAN port, make sure that's enabled. Oh, there's your problem, lady, as Eric O would say. I think. Yeah, you just gotta hit add. Now that's option 2. Go back to bridges. Go to actions. Should have option 2 in there. Yeah. Stupid me. There's your problem, lady. Gotta enable the interface. So we're gonna enable the interface. Hit save. Again, I believe you want to leave all this blank, just like before. Say apply changes. Boom. As Taraz Cool would say, boom. Back again. Bridges. Hit edit, the pencil. There we go. Now we can control click. I will do that. Control click. They're both highlighted. Say save. Okay, for some stupid reason, now I had to reset the LAN port back into the switch here. I'm probably skipping some steps too. Navigate the system, advanced, and system turntables. You want to set netlink bridge PFL member, change its value to 1. I'm just copying this so I can find it later. Yeah, system, advanced. Alrighty, I'm back. So somewhere between here and here is where I dropped the connection to the point where I had to reboot the PFSENSE router. So now that, as you can see, everything's working again, we'll go back up to where it says problem loading page. See, there was that time where it lost connection, somewhere between those 2 points. Then I hit try again. Let me log in. Right, like I said, the system disconnected itself from the internet and all that. Somewhere between this step and this step, I didn't even get a chance to finalize these steps here, just other than, have to go to reboot. But there's some settings you got to do. Like I said, you got to select netlink bridge pfill member, change its value to 0, then change this bottom filter pfill bridge, change its value to 1. I'm not sure if that really matters or not, but like I say, because at this point, the internet's working. But all the same, I'm just going to blindly follow these instructions. Now to make your life easier, just hit Control F. Blank out everything in there. Click down there, right click, say paste. You want to change, again, you want to change this. I believe you changed this to 0, this to 1. Let's do it. Change to 0. I'm going to say save. And then we're going to go back down. Erase that out. Bridge. Change that to 1. Change that to 1. Say save. There's no save down there, but we do got apply changes up at the top. Changes have been applied successfully. Now from here you should probably be able to reboot it, and then everything should work from there, I suppose, or work better or something. Now that I got everything set up and working correctly, let's verify it. We're going to use a control. I've got my deck here plugged directly into the PFSense box. Additionally, I've got the Linux box plugged into the switch. Let's do some tests. First off, we're going to ping Yahoo on both machines. We're also going to come back and do an Ookla speed test. I'm also going to edit in a speed test thing from Google Wi-Fi. So as Voltar would say, let's do it. As you can see, it's pinging pretty well. I'm going to switch my inputs to the Linux box. Switch my mouse input and keyboard over to Linux. Thought I had a Yahoo loaded up, but I'm going to fix that. Yahoo.com. Big difference between pinging in Windows and Linux. See where it says ping-C4? Windows, pings it by default at 4, whereas if you ping it on Linux or BSD or some derivative thereof, it's just going to keep doing it until you push Control-C. Watch. See? Ping, 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 ping. That doesn't make sense if you ask me. That said, we're going to move on to the UCLA speed tests. I've got it both set to Cincinnati Bell as the ISP, Cincinnati Bell Telephone as the UCLA server. We're going to hit go. And not the Pokemon kind of go either. Gonna sit here and let it do its thing. So yeah, not too shabby. 294.81 for download, 236.13 up on the Linux box. Let's see how well Windows fares. Again, Cincinnati Bell for ISP, Cincinnati Bell Telephone for the UCLA server. Hit go. Yeah, you're probably seeing, almost 600 right now on the deck here. That's probably because I got a Cat 6 or Cat 6A cable plugged in. Even though the Linux box didn't do too bad, still, brand new cables would actually make a difference. That said, the upload speed is slightly better so far. Download speed is definitely better compared to Linux, but the upload is slightly bigger at 238.01. And as an added bonus, I figured I'd throw my iMac into the fray as well. Got it connected with Ethernet into the switch. So, again, same controls, UCLA speed test, Cincinnati Bell is the ISP, Cincinnati Bell Telephone is the UCLA server. And for our ping test, we have Yahoo once again. Let's do it. So, not too shabby with the ping time. Let's test out our UCLA. Alrighty, so we got 509.19 download, 236.07 upload. Download is a little bit off par off the Windows machine. The upload, pretty much stacks up all around. There isn't really much improvement. Linux, Mac, and Windows pretty much got the same upload speed. And here's some bonus content here. If you want to change settings, go to System, go to General Setup, you go to this menu. Remember this from the wizard? Yeah, all the wizard options are here. You can change your host name, make it anything you want. Make your domain, again, make that whatever you want. Change your DNS servers. DNS server override, you can check this. I left it checked. I'm using the Fioptics DNS servers. Decheck this, so it's probably start using Cloudflare and Google instead of leaving those as backups. You can change your time server, time zone, themes. Change a whole lot of stuff in here. And after that, you just hit save and you're good to go. Next thing I want to go over is status Dhcp leases. That's pretty much everything that's connected to the server router thingy. As you can see, you got the deck here. I got the Linux box. This blank is the Google Wi-Fi. I don't know why it's returning a name. I'm not sure why it's not detecting all my other Wi-Fi presences, but oh well, at least the Google Wi-Fi app will at least tell me that if I really, really needed to look that up. Here's another one for you. Diagnostics, backup and restore. You can pretty much make a backup of your current configuration. and then hit download as XML, save that. Additionally, as a bonus, you could open this up, take out the SATA module or your SATA drive, whatever it is you're using to store PFSense, hook this up to a Linux box or a FreeBSD or Mac OS or something, and then invoke the DD command. And then you can pretty much just take a whole dump of your SATA module to a .img file, and then you have that just in case your SATA drive dies or whatever. You can just load it directly from the DD command. Lots of options you can have for backups. So I'm going to go ahead and download mine now and save it. Hit save file, then it'll just save into my documents or wherever this saves by default. Boom. It's downloaded and we're good to go. And after all this configuration that we did, now everything should look just like this. FYI, I would personally type in 14, enable secure shell, say enter. It's currently disabled, say yes. That way you can SSH in here if necessary, but other than that, should be able to just use the gateway IP as 192.168.1.1. Alrighty folks, so that's pretty much everything there is to set up PFSense on an HP T610 Plus thin client PC. Overall, I had to say it was a pretty cool project. Felt ready to actually build my own router. A little sense of satisfaction. So, how much overall did this cost me? Well, that's a good question. We'll say about $110 when I did everything correctly. This means proper power adapter, proper network interface card, etc. Even the mistake offer that Atheros Wi-Fi card that it couldn't fit in the computer there. So yeah, pretty much 110, 120 bucks. Tax, shipping, base prices, everything. Just a fair warning. I managed to score that thin client down there, the T610 Plus, for 30 bucks. However, the thing behind me, the T620 Plus, cost me $100 more on eBay, so you might want to be aware of that if you're looking to cut cost and all that. You might want to consider T610 Plus instead of a T620. The only major difference there is that a T620 has a small form factor card, where the T610 Plus uses a standard size card. Additionally, T610 Plus has the two SATA interfaces. The T620 behind me, depends upon the board. You get a micro SATA or M SATA. This one has nothing at all, but has one of those M.2 NVMe things. So I can always get one of those sticks and put it in, you know what I'm saying? Overall, this is a pretty fun little quarantine project during my time under quarantine. Works rock solid. I recommend this project to anyone who wants to try it. That said, next time I want to try to build one of these PFSense boxes, I want to do it out of an old AMD Athlon CPU, socket 939, dual core. The laptop version and the desktop board, it uses less power than the desktop version with the same performance, runs cooler, blah 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 blah. Also, I want to make a quick correction about cable modems and all that. If you didn't see it in the edited text, I'll say it again now. It is possible to get an actual cable modem that's actually a cable modem only instead of a cable modem plus router and firewall. It's going to be a bit cheaper than, if you actually get everything all together, cable modem, router, firewall, but it'll at least save you a lot of trouble and money. You have to disable the router or firewall on your cable modem and let the PFSense box take over. Like I said, it's not a substitute for a cable modem. You still need one of those if you're using cable internet. This one's fiber optics and has a WAN port directly into the wall, so that's pretty much all I got to say on this. I'm AdventureLink. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, past, present, and future. If you have any questions, comments, praise, criticisms, well wishes, etc., please put it down in the YouTube comment box below this video. Be sure to rate, share. It tells YouTube myself I'm doing a good job or not making crappy videos. Make sure you subscribe and ring that bell, so you hopefully never miss another video from me again. Be sure to check out the medical bill links and social media links down in the video description. All articles, as I said earlier, will be linked in the video description. Please consider donating and following me on social media. Any amount helps, as Gabe from the Grave would say. It helps keep this channel and myself alive and undead. Gonna sign off as always with the wise words of wisdom from Eric the Car Guy, reminding you guys to be safe, have fun, and of course, stay dirty. And as Eric O would say, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Take care. See you all for the next video. Till then, have yourself a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time it is for you. Have a good one.